Your Honor, today is for the presentation of our topic, which is the tourism public sector. But before that, I will discuss first the learning objectives. First, identify the various government agencies involved in the development and promotion of the tourism industry as well as their functions. Second, describe the relationship of these agencies with one another. And third, explain the possibility of public service as a career in the industry. The presentation will begin, Your Honor. Granted, we shall begin the presentation. The defense shall present its evidence first. Department of Tourism under the Presidential Decree PD 189. It was during the year 1973 when the Philippine government realized that there is need to realign government efforts towards trade promotion and tourism development for greater effectiveness. Hence, the need for the government's immediate and priority attention. So that the Presidential Decree number 189 gave rise on May 11, 1973, creating the Department of Tourism, which was enacted to make the tourism industry a positive instrument towards accelerated national development through which more people from other countries may visit and better appreciate the country, and through which the Filipinos themselves may learn more about the natural beauty, history, and culture of the Philippines, and thus develop greater pride in and commitment to the nation. The Department of Tourism, or DOT, defined also as a mandated to encourage, promote, and develop tourism as a major socio-economic activity to generate foreign currency and local employment, and to spread the benefits of tourism to a wider segment of the population with the support, assistance, and cooperation of both the private and public sectors. The DOT assures the safe, convenient, enjoyable stay and travel of foreign and local tourists in the country. These are the agencies involved in the Department of Tourism, or DOT. First is the TIAZA, or the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, formerly the Philippine Tourism Authority, or the PTA. In Filipino, Pangasiwa ang Pilipino sa Turismo. So ito ngang TIAZA is a non-government na nagsisilbing implementing arm ng Department of Tourism, kung saan itong TIAZA, it can care all the infrastructure under the tourism industry. And also, TIAZA is nagfa-facilitate ng investment in tourism, and it was mandated to designate, supervise, build, develop, and manage TEZ, or the Tourism Enterprise Zone, kung saan itong TEZ isang master plan na kailangang i-develop para maging isang tourist destination. Next is the TPB, or the Tourism Promotion Board. So ito ngang Tourism Promotion Board is a corporate body and responsible sa pag-market and promoting Philippines domestically and internationally. Dinidevelop and i-implement nito ang mga plans on how to market Philippines as a tourism destination, like events, festival, cultures, foods, and of course attractions, and many more. Next is the Intramuros Administration, the National Park Development Committee, and the Nayang Filipino Foundation shall continue to be attached to the Department of Tourism and shall operate under their respective charters. They may be authorized to operate TEZs under the supervision of the TIAZA within their respective jurisdictions. And last is the Duty Free Philippines, or DFP. DFP that operate and maintain tax-free for stores, which means those who want to sell products in these establishments will not pay tax because it helped the tourist industry by selling pasalubong. Are you ready to present your evidence, Ms. Lorzano?
Yes, Your Honor. According to Republic Act 9593, or the Tourism Law, it is an act declaring a national policy for tourism as an engine of investment, employment, growth, national development, and strengthen the Department of Tourism and its attached agencies for effectively and efficiently implementing the policy and appropriating funds. By virtue of enactment of the Tourism Act 2009, certain tourism public sector have been renamed and reorganized. The DOT, or the Department of Tourism, under this law is reorganized and given considerable source of funding to achieve its mandated designate and function, which includes increasing tourism access. The PCVC, or the Philippine Convention and Visitor Corporation, is reorganized as the Tourism Promotion Board, or the TPB. PTA, or the Philippine Tourism Authority, is hereby reorganized as the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, or the TIEZA.
Are you ready to present your evidence, Mr. Laitan?
Yes, Your Honor. The travel tax is levy imposed by the Philippine government on individuals who are leaving the country irrespective of the place where the air ticket is issued, the form of place of payment as provided for Presidential Decree PD 1183 as amended. CESA brings development to areas with high cultural, historical, religious heritage and/or ecotourism values, helping shape deep sense of awareness and pride for Filipinos' tradition, natural bounties, and uniqueness as a race.
Are you ready to present your evidence, Mr. Lacuesta?
Yes, Your Honor. Intramuros Administration. Intramuros has been a priceless heritage of the past for the city of Manila and a major historical landmark of the Philippines. In order to preserve and enhance the historical value of Intramuros, a National Historical Consciousness Program demands its restoration, development, and maintenance. And for this purpose, hence Presidential Decree Number 1616, April 10, 1979, creating the Intramuros Administration was created charged with such vital role and responsibility. The Intramuros shall be responsible for orderly restoration and development of Intramuros as a monument to the Hispanic period of the Philippines history. It shall also ensure that the general appearance of Intramuros shall conform to architecture of the 16th to the 19th century Philippine Spanish. The IA has the following functions. A. Formulate, coordinate, and/or execute policies on the implementation of all projects and activities of the government affecting or relating to Intramuros programs. B. Enter into contracts with any private person or entity or any government agency, either domestic or foreign, whenever necessary for the effective discharge of its function and responsibilities under such terms and conditions as it may deem proper and reasonable. C. Acquire through sale, expropriation, or other means, hold real and personal property as it may deem necessary or convenient in the successful prosecution of its work, and lease, mortgage, sell, alienate, or otherwise dispose of such personal and real property. D. Receive, take and hold by request, devise, donation, gift, purchase, or lease from foreign or domestic sources, either absolutely or in trust for any of its purposes, any asset, grant, or property, real or personnel, subject to such limitation as are provided in existing laws and regulation. To convey such assets, grant, or property, invest and reinvest the same, and deal with and expand its assets in income in such manner as will be promotes its objectives. E. Initiate, plan, undertake, and supervise the restoration, upkeep, and maintenance of the Intramuros walls, including the ravelins, moat, sunken garden, and public places or areas, plazas, streets, and other government-owned or managed property situated within Intramuros. F. Prepare, adopt, revise, and enforce such rules and regulations, implementing guidelines and standards as are necessary for the effective regulation of the land use and development activities in Intramuros of both the government and private entities, and for the implementation of the following Intramuros plan. G. Expropriate properties within Intramuros. H. Sponsor, conduct, or otherwise assist and support festivals and cultural activities in Intramuros, and charge and collect admission fees to the restored gates and other attractions operated by the administration. I. give grants, contribution, and donation for the restoration, repair, or maintenance of historic structures in Intramuros, including San Agustin Church and of structure outside of Intramuros, which are of similar nature and character as those which existed in Intramuros, for the conduct of historical, architectural, and archaeological and other research, and for the other purpose in furtherance of its objectives, and prescribe and collect reasonable amounts to be charged as filing fees, inspection fees, permits fees, and other administration or serve fees necessary for the effective enforcement of its laws and regulatory measures to be used and disbursed by it in the manner determined by it to promote its objectives.
Are you ready to present your evidence, Ms. Lapitan?
Yes, Your Honor. So let's proceed to other government agencies. So we have 15 other government agencies. So the first one is National Parks Development Committee. So the National Parks Development Committee was created originally as an executive committee on the January 14, 1963 for the development of the Quezon Memorial, Luneta, and other national parks. So the second one is National Historical Institute. So the Presidential Decree number 260 dated August 1, 1973 has declared certain sites, churches, and places as national shrines, monuments, and landmarks, and place their preservation, restoration, and or reconstruction under the supervision control of the National Historical Institute in collaboration with the Department of Tourism. So the third one is National Center for Culture and Arts. So Republic Act 7356 has been enacted in order to create the mandate of the National Center for Culture and Arts. So we have formulate policies for the development of culture and the arts. So we have the coordinate and implement the overall policies and program of attached agencies on the development of culture and arts, as stated under Executive Order number 80. So the fourth one is Tourism Promotions Board. So the Tourism Promotions Board is an agency attached to the Department of Tourism tasked with promoting the country as an ideal tourism. So convention and incentive travel destination, it provides comprehensive information assist and guidance to meeting planners and incentive travel organizers who seek an ideal venue for their meetings and incentive groups. So the fifth one is the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So kilala natin to kilala natin siya as a Presidential Decree number 520 issued on July 23, 1974, empowers the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, so the firmly Central Bank of the Philippines. So organize a corporation which the manage and administer and Philippine International Convention Center. So the sixth one is National Economic Development Authority. So the National Economic Development Authority is the country's independent economic development and planning agency. So the seventh one is Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation. So PAGCOR, which is PAGCOR, is a government-owned and controlled corporation existing under Presidential Decree number 1869. So issued on July 11, 1983 by President Ferdinand Marcos, so pursuant provision of said enabling law said. So the number 8 is Department of Environment and Natural Resources. So as provided under Section 4 for Executive Order 192, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources is mandated to be the primary government agency responsible for the conservation, management, so development and proper use of the country's environment and natural resources. So include those in reservations, watershed, areas and lands of the public domain, as well as the licensing, utilization, and regulation of natural resources as provided by law. So, the next one is Department of Labor and Employment. So, this is the number 9 of other agency of government. So, the following are the function of the Department of Labor and Employment. So, enforce social and labor legislation to protect the working class and regulate the relations between the worker and his employers. So, the second, formulate and recommend policies, plans, and programs for manpower development, training, allocation, and utilization. So, the third one, recommendation legislation to enhance the material, social, and intellectual improvement of the nation's labor force. So, the next one is Department of Public Works and Highways. So, the Department of Public Works and Highways function as the engineering and construction arm of the government tasked to continuously develop its technology for the purpose of ensuring the safety of the infrastructure, facilities, and securing for all public works and highways the highest efficiency and of quality in construction. So, next, Department of Transportation and Communication. So, this is the important of government agencies. So, the Department of Transportation and Communication is the primary policy planning, programming, coordinating, implementing, regulating, and administrative. So, entity of the executive branch of the government in the promotion, development, and regulation of dependable and coordinated networks of transportation and communication systems, as well as in the fast, safe, efficient, and reliable postal, transportation, and communications service. So, the next is Department of Trade Industry. So, under Executive Order 133, which remains effective up to the present time, the Department of Trade and Industry serves as the primary coordinative, promotive, and facilitative arm for trade, industry, and investment activities. So, next is Philippine Economic Zone Authority. So, the Republic Act number 7916, creating the Philippine Economic Zone Authority, was enacted on July 25, 1994. So, with the following objectives. So, the to establish the legal framework and mechanism for the integration, coordination, planning, and monitoring of special economic zones. So, industrial estates, parks, export, proceeding zones, and other economic zones. So, the next, number 2, to transform selected areas in the country into highly developed agro-industrial, industrial, commercial, tourist, banking, investment, and financial centers where highly trained works and efficient services will be available to commercial enterprises. So, let's proceed to number 13 of other government agencies. So, number 13 is Department of Foreign. So, the Department of Foreign Affairs is the prime agencies for government responsible for the pursuit of the state's foreign policy and the nerve center for a foreign service worthy of the trust and pride of every Filipino. So, the 14th one is Department of Interior and Local Government. So, the Department of Interior and Local Government, which is DILG, has the following function: assist the President in the exercise of general supervision over local governments. So, advise the President in the promulgation of policies, rules, regulation, and other issuances on the general supervision over local governments and on public order and safety. So, establish and prescribe rules, regulation, and other issuances, implementing laws on public order and safety. So the general supervision over local governments and the promotion of local autonomy and community empowerment and monitor compliance thereof. That's all. Thank you.